All right. Well, thank you everyone for showing up and sharing this exciting launch. This is something that Kimberly and I have been talking about. More so, Kimberly's been really gently and consistently encouraging me to move this forward. And this is a program we're really excited to announce. So we're going to just kind of give a little bit of layout. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to take a few minutes and explain what we've done, how we've got here, and really what it's for. And at that point, we're going to open up to questions.
So a core part of the Great Things Accelerator is building community and networking with other small business owners, because I believe we are always better together. So let's kick that idea by clicking on the chat, sharing where you're zooming in from tonight, and questions that you would like to have answered before the end of tonight's session, questions that you have about the Great Things Accelerator. Welcome, Connie.
Hello.
All right.
So it looks like we have someone from Colorado, Mark. I haven't met Mark yet. So, and of course, Sherman in my hometown, Cochranton, Heidi Eaton, Ohio. And then I think Marnie gets the award for first wave, Anchorage. So it doesn't look like you have questions. So maybe, hopefully by the end, you'll have some questions. And when we get to the Q&A, you'll ask them and you'll walk away knowing this is the great program for you to grow your business. So what is the Great Things Accelerator?
Well, the Great Things Accelerator really is a business membership designed to grow your business. And really what we focus on is making sure that it is in alignment with your personal values and your lifestyle. Too often, people don't put the focus on the importance of aligning personal values and what they're doing. It does include a course of starting your own business. It's one that I just released. This has come out of years of experience, but really capping off some major basic fundamental issues that people miss when starting a business. And as Kimberly mentioned earlier, it is to build a community here of entrepreneurs and small business owners that really want to make a difference. And so who's it for?
It's for new business owners ready to start a business. So if you haven't, you're ready. Existing business owners who haven't found the success that they have envisioned, and entrepreneurs dreaming to launch a new venture, and people who are ready to leave their dead-end jobs and create a new path.
Yeah, I'm assuming that may resonate with some of you out there. So a little bit about who we are and our background. I mean, many of you know us here. So just for those of you who I have not had the opportunity to meet, I am a former corporate or C-level executive. I started off in the insurance and financial sales industry and was very successful at it. One of the things, though, in recent history that I am most proud of is the founding of the Center of Harmony. And that was an old historical opera hall that I renovated. But the big thing I really enjoyed about it was helping launch small businesses there. And over the 10 years that I've owned it, I've helped launch over 30 small businesses, and most have been women owned. I founded Great Things LLC about 14 years ago officially, but have been helping businesses longer than I care to add those numbers up together.
So who am I, if you're not familiar with me? I am a former educator turned entrepreneur and coach. When I was a teacher, I designed a high-performing curriculum that helped my at-risk, so my lowest performing students, rank in the top 10 of test scores and also jump 2 grade levels. So I was also earned the Keystone Technology Integrator Award, which was a state level award for the innovative use of technology in the classroom. On a district level, I facilitated literacy, technology, and professional development initiatives for 126 educators and 1,600 students. So high level initiatives that touched every student and every teacher in my district. After I left teaching, I went to a local small business in the conservation space, actually helped rescue their business. It was a big Titanic heading down, and I reinvented their operations and their marketing strategy. And that year, instead of closing shop, they netted over $500,000 that year. Since then, I went on to found Open Roads, which is a top-tier coaching and copywriting agency that specifically helps wellness professionals make an impact. And so what's included?
So one of the things that is included is weekly calls. That'll be a weekly live call with Kimberly and I, and we are planning on doing these on Thursday nights, 6 to 7, with the alternative of doing it on Tuesdays.
We also are hosting a community forum and chat for ongoing support and networking in our private Facebook group. So you can ask questions, share knowledge, and celebrate your success at a $450 a month value.
And one of the things that I mentioned earlier that really excited about is the Starting Your Own Business course. The Starting Your Own Business course is something that came out of consulting so many small businesses. And it starts with getting very clear on your vision, your mission, and your values. And you'd be surprised at how impactful that can be. A lot of people starting out businesses just have a good idea, but aren't crystal clear. And when you refine that down, it really gives you kind of a guiding principle that you will check back in and out of. And I can share an example of that. When I started the Center of Harmony, it was a brand new building. I had a lot of money to reinvest to get it up and running, and I had no tenants. I had a tenant that came in. I thought it was really good. He was going to be a make your own wine shop where you could come in and learn to make wine. But part of the mission that we had was environmental and sustainability. And when I asked him about his carbon impact, about where are the wines coming from and what is the recycling, he's like, oh, we're shipping them from all over the world and we just throw the bottles out. And as much as I wanted that shop, it wasn't aligned and it was the right decision to make, but I was able to make it because we had a very clear mission statement that I relied on. The next thing in that course is we're actually going to really refine your offer. So most people, there might be like, hey, I want to open up a wellness center. Well, that's pretty broad. You need to get really specific as to who's it targeted to, do the market research, and really understand the potential within your community for its success. Then we're going to stress test that model through a very simple but wide-ranging spreadsheet. We're going to put in your different offers and different price points so we can see you can see what makes sense, where you may want to invest a little bit more marketing in the time frame to ramp up. And finally, we'll wrap that all up in a 12-month financial pro forma that you can track your actuals to your budget. And as far as personal alignment and peace of mind, this is one of the biggest peace of mind things that you can do as a new business owner, is to understand what your financial path is. A lot of times you don't go straight up. You actually got to dig a hole a little bit and come back out of it. And I can tell you, when I started the Center of Harmony, I knew how much money I was going to lose for the first 3 months. And when I lost the right amount of money, I was so excited. I didn't freak out because I knew I was on track. So that is a $2,179 value that we're selling outside, but this is included in this course. So it's also going to be the basis of the beginning of the course, so we make sure everyone has a good, solid place to start from.
We have a couple of bonuses in the membership as well. So, it's a per month fee at this point, and all of those wonderful features are included, and we decided to include a couple others. So bonus number 1 is a business resource library. So Josh has been curating sources for as long as he's owned Great Things. He's also been making all kinds of tutorials and how-to, and he's put them all together in one place just for you to help you level up your success with the training in self-leadership, mindset mastery, how to do market research, sales training, financial management, copywriting, SEO research, web design and maintenance, social media strategies, and so much more.
That library will continue to grow. There are some of you on the call that we've worked with, so you'll notice when you come across a problem, one of the simplest ways to illustrate how to solve it is with a quick video. So we are always adding new videos and new workbook and new workflows to the library every day.
And so we have a second bonus. Each week I run co-work sessions. Some of you have been there. These are really valuable sessions to get twice weekly accountability and motivation with me, both Wednesday mornings and Thursday evenings. You can come to both, or you can come to one with a special time, about 70 minutes, to just dedicate on working on your business and moving it forward, and also sharing space with other people doing the exact same thing. And this comes in at a $97 per month value as well. So why do you need to be there in the Great Things Accelerator?
One of the biggest reasons, as most people just have an intuitive sense about it, is 90% of businesses fail in the first year, and they usually can be traced back to some of the root causes. Untested sales and financial models, the lack of demand for the products or services. The people may have thought they had them. Missing or poorly designed vision and mission. If your mission isn't in alignment with your business and your personal life, it's not going to be there. It's going to be hard and an uphill battle. Big thing is mindset, fear, lack, concern, worry. So we will be doing a lot of work with mindset as well. And finally, there's just a lot of common avoidable mistakes. And, I've made a lot of them, so I'm happy to share what not to do. And I think a lot of people in this group too can offer those same perspectives.
I know I can. I'm in year 5 of running my own business, and I would love to help you prevent the mistakes that I have made and help you move your business along more quickly and find that success much more easily than I did. Most businesses fail. 9 out of 10, in fact, by year 10 fail. And so why do you need to be here? Because the Great Things Accelerator membership is designed specifically for your success. You get everything you need to know and be able to do to grow a business and avoid those common mistakes along the way. You can leverage Josh and my decades of experience, as well as the experience of the people in the group as well. And so a program is built around 3 pillars for success. First is that course, Starting Your Business, the fundamental keys for success. As Josh was saying, it is packed with everything you need to know to start with that strong foundation. And it also addresses those common failure points that we talked about earlier. So we're shoring you up for the best chance of success and to grow quickly and easily. The second pillar here is we know that we're better together. So you get group coaching and consulting every step of your journey to a thriving business. So those weekly coaching calls are there to support you and will provide also continuing education components as well as we bring in group experts. Pillar 3 is that community for accountability, motivation, and also the networking that happens.
And that's a piece we're excited for each of you that are on this call to help form that community together. This is we're going to get to it in a little bit, but what the founding members' invitation here is really to build this together. So you have a unique opportunity to shape the direction that this is moving.
So we told you a little bit about who we are. We have told you about what's inside of the Great Things Accelerator. And so we thought we would highlight 2 clients. First, we'd like to highlight Elizabeth, who's part of anxiety training. And Josh, do you want to speak a little bit about this testimonial and how you've worked with her?
Anxiety training is a client that came to us, and it was actually out of a grant. They needed to start online sales, and over the last 7 or 8 years, we've helped develop not only a very successful online course for the platform for them, but an entire marketing strategy and website. So this has been, from ground up. We've started with these folks, and they've been with us for 10 or 7+ years now, and really been a part of their business. And it's nice to have that personal connection as well as seeing the professional results.
Yeah, Josh, and I'd like to add that they started to see even better success when you started working with them on their pro forma and their financials, which they were avoiding for 6 long years before you were like, it's time in order for you to grow. And they've really been thriving this year as a result of making informed decisions based on that pro forma that you helped them through at the beginning of the year. So I work with Elizabeth and Kimberly at Anxiety Training, and one of the things they noticed when they started hiring me for their copywriting and their marketing strategy is that they've had a large increase in their sales because of the copywriting that we do and the consulting that we do, and also an increased professionalism in their online presence as well. Yeah.
And the one thing I will add for that Kim brings forward is that writing coach, that market research, the writing research is tremendous. We found such a difference for our clients by going through those steps. And that's part of what we'll be training here as well.
Yeah, I'll train you how to do great research so that when you go to write copy and things just like social media posts, it'll be a no-brainer on how to attract your ideal, or like I like to say, yes client. So we have another client we like to highlight. She's one of our favorites and feistiest, Joan Kaler.
So I've been with Joan probably the single longest, and she is not only one of our favorite clients, she is one of our greatest sources of referrals. So we've made Joan very happy over the years. Again, with Joan, same thing. We've started out in website development, recommended marketing campaigns, done full-blown marketing for her, and she is now doing online courses and successful. And again, that is the beautiful collaboration that Kimberly and I have that really in the last 2 years has benefited and grown for our clients.
Joan likes to make the claim that I helped increase her business by 50%. And in 1 year, I helped her attract 10K more in sales to her business because I helped her through the research that we do in the SEO and the marketing strategies, taught her how to shift and reach more clients. And those are the same kinds of things that you'll be learning from me in the Great Things Accelerator. It's time to become a founding member.
So after this, we can give you a quick view of what it looks like. But what right now we're looking for is the first 30 people to join us that are going to build this together, that are looking for a solid foundation, that want to have their values aligned, and that are looking at making real tangible changes in their lifestyle. And really, I think the most common motivation is people want to do this to create their financial and time freedom, because money is no good if it can't help improve your lifestyle. So we are offering this to the first 30 people. Enrollment's going to be open for a little while here, but we do have some special bonuses that we would like to talk about. We can just, again, kind of recap what we're offering. So you will have weekly live sessions with us. We're going to do monthly Q&As because things change pretty quickly, and we want to make sure that we're in lockstep with you. The community forum and chat, you can not only chat with us, but with others in similar circumstances. Again, the Starting Your Business course, the resource library, and the co-working sessions. So that is what we're offering tonight. And we do have, we have the link here, but we will follow up with this after the meeting, but have some special bonuses. And Kim, if you want to touch on what we're offering tonight, and then we can get closer to the Q&A for everyone.
Yeah, so for being here tonight, and before we end, we're going to select one of you at random to receive a free 30-minute one-to-one strategy call with your choice, Josh or me, and that can focus on whatever you feel is most pertinent to starting and growing your business. That's a $300 value just for being here tonight. We'll announce that winner. And we have another special bonus that I like to call the Better Together bonus. And so this one doesn't come at you tonight, but this is join and recruit a friend. So join tonight and convince a friend to come along and get a complimentary 30-minute strategy session again with Josh or me. And again, a $300 value for bringing a friend along and becoming a founding member with us. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to take some questions and answers. And while we do that, I'm also going to go ahead and put this link in the chat so that if you're ready to join right here, right now, and we encourage you to, right? You can go ahead, click this link, and it takes you right to how to pay.
So let's open this up to some questions. I appreciate you sitting through our presentation here. And what is on the top of your minds? What are some of the things that you're looking at? And if you could share kind of the stage in which you're in.
Hi, this is Julie Rockcastle. Did I miss it? Did you say what the monthly fee was for this? But if you did,
Julie, I think we missed that. Thank you for bringing that up. So the founding members offer is $87 a month, and that will remain as long. In effect, as long as your membership is active. We are going to only take enrollment for the founding members through December 1st. And at that point, we're going to close enrollment down till about March. We're going to do another round of enrollment probably around March, and that price will be closer to $177 or $200 or so.
I'll ask another one.
All right.
I've been working with Josh and Kimberly for a couple years now. So how does this fold in with what we're already doing together? Like, because we've been doing kind of hourly, as needed kind of services.
Sure. So it's really not changing much, Julie. Thank you for bringing that up, because we are going to have some of our current customers here. So what we're doing outside of this will be just as it is. This is really more of a global program. So you're going to learn a lot. And as you know, working with us, it's kind of a value based on what our hourly rates are. So this is something that, if you had someone you wanted to maybe bring in and sit through it in some of the pieces, someone in your staff who might need some help with writing and research, it'd be good to show that. You could also, with all the downloadable resources that we're building, again, that's stuff that you can take and share with your team. So what we're doing normally is not going to change. It's going to be the one-on-one. We still have our current contract as it's going to be for that, and that's outside of the membership. But I do believe this is a lovely addition to it, because it's providing a lot more resources at a very reasonable rate that you can share with your team.
Yeah, you get that weekly support and group coaching, which is invaluable, and you get it with a network of people that is not in your current business. So you get a lot of outsider's perspective, which I think is really essential for growing your business, because you can have tunnel vision and not see an obvious solution ahead of you that somebody just like 2 or 3 steps removed. And the co-work sessions are really, that I'm giving away, are really, really valuable. Connie attends those as a writer. Each week I hear over and over again, this hour was the most productive week, or most productive hour. Shane's also in them, most productive hour of the week. And so it's designed to keep you moving forward and to keep facing the challenges that are ahead of you, instead of avoiding what you're afraid of, that'll help you grow your business.
So let me pose a question out there. Connie, Shane, Sherry, Mark, even Marnie. What was it that interested you or brought you here? Because there seems like that's usually there's a resonation with the problem and a solution. So if any of you would be willing to volunteer that, I'd greatly appreciate it.
I'll share. And you might see I kind of feel a little bit of a deer in the headlights here, in that, I live in rural Colorado. I've had a very successful massage practice, which I'm leaving. And, I have a big, and you and I know that, the idea of business it's a foreign language to me. But I am very relational. And so I built a thriving massage practice by word of mouth in Durango. And that's kind of my framework. And now I'm looking at, okay, I'm not doing physical work anymore. So I'm moving into more of a verbal, that type of work. And it's like going out into the world, which is, wow, there's a lot out there. Wow, it's scary. I don't always like the world right now. And, the idea of how to create a business that's not initially based on relationship. It becomes that, I know, and so that's my framework, and as I'm sitting here listening, I'm just telling the truth. It's like the idea of community sounds really cool. I mean, Josh, I'm a community usually oriented person, and I love supporting people, which is part of, what I want to create. And there's also, some of the terms you're using are just like, you might as well be speaking Slovak, because that's, I don't, that hasn't been my realm. And, I wouldn't consider myself like a huge entrepreneurial, I don't want to create Tony Robbins world. Like that's not me. I want enough One of the things I learned when I moved to Colorado is, do you live to work or work to live?
Mhm.
And for me, it's I work to live.
That's
And so I guess I say that because, when you ask for questions, I'm just like, I have existential
Yeah.
questions, but
Well,
not.
you're not alone in that, Mark. I mean, a lot of people, want to start a business, but it does seem intimidating, not only the terminology, but just the process. So we do want to break that down into really simple steps. So thank you for sharing that, because I think that's probably an unspoken fear by many people when they're looking into this.
Raise your hands.
Yeah.
See, Mark. So, Mark, I heard you say that you work to live, or you live to work, and that makes me think of the exact way and this program, this membership is designed. It's designed to help you grow a business that is in alignment with your values, so that you can take control of your life, right? Your financial freedom and your personal freedom to make the choices that you want to make based on your priorities. So for example, if you never want to work another Monday or Friday again, let's design a business so that you don't have to do that. If you only want to have to work 3 weeks out of the year, let's design, or not out of the year, 3 weeks out of the month, let's design a business that does that for you. That's one of the things I started doing from the very beginning. I said, I never want to book a call on a Monday or Friday ever again. I want the freedom to travel for 4 days out of the week, and not have to worry about booked calls and things like that. So ask Josh. I don't book calls on Mondays and Fridays anymore, because I choose to live a different way. If you only want to work 20 hours a month and you still want to make a livable income, let's design a business that does that for you. And I love the idea of what you said, Mark. You live minimally, right? You don't live this big lavish lifestyle because you understand the importance and the value of that financial and personal freedom. Let's design businesses with a financial model that supports you exactly where you are and exactly where you want to be, to live a life that feels full and rich, and you're leveraging a business to help you do that. You're shaking your head. Yes.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, you picked up on a lot of key things. I do live simply, and that's been important. I've probably lived a good majority of my life right around the poverty level. But what we used to say is, on both ends of the economic scale, there's a leisure class. And so, work 6 months, go snowboard 6 months, whatever. And, now a little older and grayer, and that's not necessarily the thing, but the value of my time. And
right. And so let's help you. Right. And so the Great Things Accelerator is built to help you design a business that values your time and how you leverage your time to live the life you want to live.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
All right. Anyone else out there struggling with time at all?
Yeah, I'll jump.
Okay.
So I'm currently enrolled in an accelerator program that is grant funded. And I was a little bit on the fence about getting involved with this program because it just, well, I guess in hindsight, the big thing is I was afraid to face certain demons in my business world, stuff that I wasn't ready to face, in particular around the financials. But I was also concerned about the amount of time that it was going to take. And I will say that it does take a tremendous amount of time. But boy, when I think about everything that I'm learning and everything that I'm going through with this particular program, I just can't put a dollar amount to it. But something that's really interesting about it is it's got me super excited about continuing to learn. And it just so happens that it's going to wrap up here at the end of November. And so when this program fully opens up at the beginning of December, it was like, that was an easy yes. I was like, hell yes, I want to keep this going, because the amount of growth that I've experienced and am enjoying is just absolutely worth it. So now that this is going to be, not just a sort of a 30-day and done kind of deal, that this is going to be an ongoing process and community sounds really attractive to me. So I have some ideas. It's interesting, in the program I'm in currently, we're focused on one business, but as a result of exploring more deeply into that business, another aspect has come to light, and I'm looking forward to exploring that more here with you guys.
Great. Well, we'd love to have you on, Shane. And for those of you who might not know, if you know me at all, there's this hammock system that I love. Well, that was actually Shane, who is the creator, designer, and all-around hammock guru. So I fully support your success.
So one of the things that I'd like to bounce off or piggyback on Shane is he's been working on the financial model for his business through this other accelerator that he's part of. And he's been working really hard on it. But I imagine, and raise your hand, who's afraid of doing the financials for your business? Right? But I've seen more transformation in Shane in the last week and a half than I've seen in the 18 years we've been together. Just for his business, just for him doing that financial modeling. And here's something really great. Josh is a pro at this, and he's super gentle, and it's not going to be a big scary thing because he's used the same modeling to become a millionaire when he was just 22 years old. So you have an expert. 24. Okay. So he's splitting hairs at that point. He's in the top 5% of sales in the insurance industry for 5 consecutive years in his early 20s. This guy knows what he's talking about when it comes to the financials. I'm just like the rest of you. It scares the whatever out of me to sit down with a spreadsheet and have to look at my financials because there's just some big truths waiting there for me that I don't want to ever face. But Josh loves that. He loves to geek out over it. You're in really good hands, probably the best hands you could possibly be in when it comes to designing the financial model and then testing the financial model. So it's not like you're just going to go through it and put it away. You're going to go through months of testing that model and coming back and reporting your results so that you have a proven model for a successful business.
The key is really taking out the fear and the uncertainty. Really, it's about peace of mind. So numbers are comforting to me, and I hope to impart some of that joy to all of you.
Yeah, so Josh is showing you the inside of that starting your own business, the Fundamental Keys to Success course that comes packaged with the membership. And we have some recommendations on how you can go forth and complete that, but the financial modeling is in there.
This is as simple as it is. We're going to look at up to 6 products or offers, and we're going to put a price to them, and we're going to make some assumptions here with your sales. Nothing complex, nothing that hard. We can make some assumptions. We're going to help you build out some expenses because there are expenses that are related to your products. And then the pro forma is the bigger spreadsheet. It all rolls up to here, so you'll be able to see your income. You'll actually be able to put in operating expenses as insurance and accounting and legal. Now, this may look like a lot, but it's really not. And one of the beautiful things is when this all rolls up together, you're going to see your income or loss here for the next 12 months. You're going to see what months are heavy in your expense. And this is important because there are going to be times of the year where you may be more heavily expensed. So April, you'll have taxes. In my case, April was absolutely the worst month in the world for me. My flood insurance in the building came due, my insurance, regular and property taxes. So I knew every April I had to do this, so it wasn't a surprise. And that's all we're really looking to do is to test it out and make sure that you understand so you don't have surprises. And once you're enrolled, you'll have access to this. There are some tutorials, and we will be stepping it through over those first couple months to make sure that you got a great rock solid start, because it will be the foundation for many of the decisions and most of your success.
Can you explain how you get through that course? Like, are you kind of on your own with it, or?
It's a self-study and self-guided course. I do have instructional videos there. It is a little bit to get started just because you need to know where to put the numbers. And so we'll be talking through that in the live call. So we're going to be spending some focus in the group time. And if there is need outside of the group, we are also available for one-on-one consultation with that. But I will say I've had one or two people testing this, and they are not computer people. They essentially weren't really truly business people, even though they owned it. They were in a different industry, and they were able to get through it pretty smooth. So what the approach I like to have is try it first. We'll give you the guidance, and then we're coming back in and we're going to really refine it together.
So one of the things we know is that most people never complete online courses that they buy. So raise your hand if you bought an online course at least once and you never took it. I'm a former educator, and I have signed up for courses, paid lots of money for them, and never completed them. And I'm not going to let that happen for you guys. I promise. I already have an email series set up for your success to remind you to get into the course and to do the thing, and then go back to the community forum and to check in. And that's also where those weekly co-work sessions come in handy for you to show up, work on your course. We're actually going to ask you to complete that course in the first 30 days so that you're ready for those weekly group coaching calls where we're going to be doing in-depth talks about each of the components of the course, at least for the first 3 months. After that, we'll pull out other topics that we know that you're going to need. But in the very, very beginning, everything that we share during the live group coaching sessions will connect immediately back to the starting your own business course. And so your homework before it'll be like what's called flipped instruction. So before you show up to the live coaching call, you should complete the modules that pertain to that as well. So while it is self-paced, there's going to be group encouragement for us to all get through it so that you can start building your business with this super strong foundation.
Before we move on from this, I want to welcome Sandy to the call. Sandy, welcome. We were just talking about there was a question about the financial pro forma model. Would you be willing to share a little bit about your experience? And if not, that's all right, but I'm putting you on the spot here because you just got through the whole process. Sandy was kind enough to test for us.
No, I'd be happy to. And I'm sorry, for some reason, I put this in at 7 o'clock in my schedule. I looked at 6 to 7. I picked up 7. So, but yes, I've been working with the pro forma, and I learned so much working with Josh on this. And I haven't shared this with you yet, Josh, but one of the areas where it helped me the most is to slow down. Is to look at things way more realistically and to have and looking at my goals more in steps instead of just saying, well, I can have this done by this date, or I can have that done by that date. Because in the last several months, I realized that, life shows up and I need to take it in smaller increments. But seeing the pro forma over the course of a year, just gave me that picture, and it gave me a goal to be able to reach for. But I think the most important thing that I'm taking from it right now is that it's helping me slow down and have a realistic picture of how I want to slowly build this business and not just go full bore ahead and then end up in cash flow problems or whatever other problems that show up when you grow too fast.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sandy. You came in at the perfect time. You were 15 minutes early for 7 o'clock, so that was excellent.
Yeah,
and
she brings
to answer a little bit more with a little bit more specificity. We do have some communities, so we have online through Thinkific, and we will be doing a Facebook community. But this is a place where, as we're going through this together, we can post questions, and not only just direct, but each other can help in and share the process of building and working through these different things together. Just to give you another example of what you're looking for or what we have is, here's our course discounts. So these are online offers. So a lot of the services that you may choose to engage, we've negotiated great deals with. So media tips, business process, mindset, all different things we have, and we are building every day. So by the time this launches on December 1st, which will be the first live call and we're diving in, you'll be in it, you'll be familiar, and it's growing every day. So we are reaching the end of our hour here. Again, I appreciate everyone's interest. And are there any questions or anything that hasn't been addressed that you may have a question, or anyone we haven't heard from?
Can I go? Okay. Earlier, you guys mentioned one of the things that's included in the membership is mindset coaching. I just wanted you guys to cover a couple of the mindsets that you've seen get in the way of people progressing their business.
Sure. I'm going to take the first one, and Kimberly, I'm sure, has a list as well. This one's a two-sided coin. It is fear of failure or fear of success. They're actually kind of related. A lot of people really dislike and are scared of failure. I'm also going to throw another one in related to that. But I look at failure as one of the most gifted teachers. You should welcome failure. I've heard the term fail to success. I mean, you don't want to make it your goal, but when it happens, you can be upset by it or you can learn from it. Related to failure and fear, perfectionism. Anyone who knows me knows I'm not a perfectionist. I absolutely abhor perfectionism in an entrepreneurial environment because it kills dreams and success so much. You want to do it well, but you want to do it well enough. And the real thing is to get it out there, to make the mistakes, to make the micro adjustments, but to move forward. If you wait for it to be the right time or perfect, it just never happens. And I'm sure you could probably think through your head of friends or family that have waited to get everything just right, and it's never there.
Yeah, good is always good enough, especially in business, because you're always growing your business. You're always getting to know your customer and your market better. So there is no perfect offer. There's just the offer or the service that continues to grow to meet your client's needs. And if you allow perfectionism to hold you back, the truth is you'll never be ready and you'll never start your business. So I couldn't agree more. That's a huge one that I see holding everybody back, right? But especially small business owners. So Marty, it's a great question. I think that this week I've been focused a lot on procrastination as the thing that holds people back. And here's the truth. You own your own business. You create your own deadlines. You don't have a boss over top of you saying, you need to get this on my desk by this date. So if you are a person who says that you work well under pressure and work well under deadlines, as a small business owner, this is a big hurdle for you to get over. So how do you create that same sort of feeling inside of you, that same sense of urgency that allows you to produce the best work? I have a lot of tips and strategies to help you through the I'm a great procrastinator mindset so that you are always taking care of your business and setting up goals and habits to keep you moving forward instead of being in that procrastination mindset, which really is a reactionary mindset instead of a proactive mindset, which as a business owner, you always need to be in that proactive mindset in order to keep your business moving forward. If you're reactive, you're on the wrong side of things. So great question.
There's one other thing that I'll just add to that. So one of the mindsets is actually how we approach our customers and our marketing. We can show you example after example of new business owners that want to tell about what they do. And it doesn't work. You need to learn the mindset of sales psychology, of approaching it from a solutions-based marketing campaign. That's massive. It's really funny. Almost every new business owner starts that like, I do this, I've had this training. Not that no one cares, no one cares.
Nobody cares.
No, I have back pain and I need body worker that understands this scenario. You're providing solutions. So that's another little mindset from the sales and coaching perspective that you could look
Yeah,
for.
yeah. Nobody cares about your product or service. They care about the problems that you're solving for them. They care about how you are making life easier or better, or you're helping them move more quickly or easily to the solution that they're looking for. If you can do that, they'll buy whatever it is you're selling. Promise. Josh, did you want to talk a little? We've been talking for, I don't know, about a month about why now is the perfect time to start a business. In this right now, in the news cycle, we're in this place of scarcity, and that can make people really cling to their current situation, which is actually a big mindset. It's a big mindset problem. I'm just going to be honest. And the shift that you're encouraging folks to make.
Sure. So I used to be of the mindset that having a good job with a good company was the safest thing. It's actually, to me, one of the scariest things because you have no control. You don't have control over the company. It can be bought. It can be sold. It could be out of business through regulation. We are in just odd and scary times. The market is ridiculous. International conflict, political unrest, whatever it is, it's nuts out there. But the one thing that you can invest in at this point really is yourself. So things have changed. Just look at how much has changed and the way our behaviors have changed since COVID came out. That was 2 years ago. Now online is here to stay. People are comfortable learning online. People are looking for different things. People are not going to work. There is a seismic shift in the economic landscape that we're facing. So little risky at times, but also with risk is the opportunity and new markets to explore. So my advice is invest in yourself, do it now in any form, because it's always the best and most timely advice or investment to make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, I lost my job, and I don't think I would ever put my family's financial future in the hands of another business or another person ever again. Owning my business has given me an intense or a profound sense of well-being that I get to decide my worth. I get to decide how many hours a week I work. I get to decide if I grow my business, and I get to decide what certainty and stability looks like for me. I'm not allowing an employer to decide what those things look like for me. And so as we're facing in the near future some sort of economic uncertainty, nobody even knows what we're facing, now's a perfect time for you to take control over your situation, since we are facing some even more deeply uncertain times ahead of us. This is your chance and your opportunity to jump on your business horse, take the reins, decide your future. And with that, I did get a clickable link. It is in the chat right now. You can click on that. You can join. It is $87 a month. Again, next time we launch, which will be likely in 6 months, we're not real sure yet, it will be $177. So this is the time to cash in on that offer. That $87 a month will never increase. You're a founding member with us, and that $87 is a gift to you for taking a chance on us as we're building this membership. Although, Josh, I don't think we're a big chance. I think what we have to offer is pretty awesome, and I can't wait to share it with everyone. And I can't wait to see all of the businesses here grow. Sherry's already told me a little bit about what she's looking at. We're already helping Sandy grow. We've talked to Heidi about hers. I'm super interested in Amy. She and I have talked a little bit. And Connie, you and I've talked about, possibly leaving your career and moving on. And Mark, it sounds like you're in a transition as well. And not to leave out Shane. Absolutely would love to have you on board here and see how you're going to grow Journeyman Products into its full potential.
So click the link. The enrollment, you'll get instant enrollment, and the first billing, you get 1 month free because the course really starts December 1st. So you'll have access. Billing will start next month. So you can get in, start playing around, and start looking and start asking us questions. Really, as much as we're presenting here, we want this to be about the community and what the community needs, because there's a pulse out there that we want to stay in tune with and really help build that together. So I appreciate everyone's time this evening. We'll follow up with an email, and if you have any questions, please reach out. And we look forward to seeing you hopefully December 1st. And one final thing, if you found this beneficial, or if you know someone who is thinking about starting a business, please point them our way. We'd be happy to talk to them. We will be distributing more information over the next month.
Well, and Josh, our free 30-minute coaching session or consultation session goes to Mark. So Mark, if you can make sure that you and Josh get in touch for your free 30-minute consultation. And that also reminded me of the other bonus. If you join and you bring a friend, again, you get a 30-minute free session with Josh and I to grow your business.
All right, with that, everyone have a wonderful and safe and enjoyable fall evening wherever you're at. Marnie, stay warm. We did hear from Marnie this morning. It was 11 degrees out in Anchorage. So for those of us complaining about brisk weather, Marnie's got us covered.
Yeah, thank you everybody for being here. It was a pleasure to see all of you and take your questions and hear about, what you're up to. And we'll see you inside the Great Things Accelerator.
Take care.